Hi, and welcome to Hypothetically Intentional, where we ask the question, what if we set intentions with everything we do? I'm your host, Michelle Aalbers, and this morning I'm sitting here with a cup of coffee before I go pick up a friend at the airport, and I'm thinking about travel. So let's look at the small shifts that lead to big growth, focusing on something many of us love but rarely approach with true intention. Travel. It's one of my favorite things. So we often frame a trip as an escape or a vacation, like a much needed break from the daily grind. And that's definitely true for me. It can be, and it is. But I also find that if I set an intention and see it as something more profound, it can change everything and add a layer to my travels that really incorporates me, like who I am as a human, like what my soul might need. So what if travel wasn't just a pause, but it was an accelerator, even an amplifier for your own healing journey? I really believe that when approached with thoughtful intention, travel is one of the most powerful, soul-fueling experiences that we can gift ourselves. Hypothetically Intentional, the name for this podcast, came about through a conversation with my son, and the more I think about it and talk about it and dive into this work with people, the more I recognize that intention really has more power. It can be so powerful. And I think partially it's just because it requires a pause for us to reflect, a pause for us to connect, and a pause for us to choose, to decide, to discern. So if we think about the unknown and how that can throw so many of us off as we do this work, whether it be the healing journey or self-awareness or just transformation of any kind, just making changes. If we think about the unknown, when we travel, the very act of leaving your familiar environment is an act of courage. And it doesn't matter if it's like a city next door, just even a different place that's close by, or if it's across the world. It's still change from your familiar environment. And your comfort zone is built into the walls of familiarity. It's what you know. It's your routines, the schedule on your calendar, the steps you take to get yourself to work. Stepping out of that structured reality immediately opens a space for something new to come in. And that something new is often a connection with yourself, or maybe even you amplified, because you can take the time and the space to look. We all have our wounds. We all have our stresses. We all have that inevitable baggage of life, right? And healing isn't about ignoring those things. It's more about gaining the perspective, the strength, and the courage to process them. And so that's where adding intention to your travels can be key. It's the chance to rewrite the script of your everyday life, even if it's only for a week or two. Or if you're fortunate enough, maybe it's for a month or two. Who knows? But however long you're outside of your normal everyday, that's when things can really shift, especially if you choose to set intentions. So what if we think about 3 amplifiers of these intentions that we can set, shifting our vacation to an intentional journey? I've really found that this intentional journey can become a full-blown reset. When I travel, it is a reset that is different than the other self-care tools that I have. And maybe that's just me. It's just one of my most powerful ways to care for myself and to offer myself a pause or a reset. But it feels really profound to be able to set an intention and have that change something that used to have one meaning, and now it has a deeper meaning. And this starts before you even pack your bags. It starts setting a clear intention for what you want to gain, how you want to show up, what you might want to learn. I like to focus on 3 different things that travel naturally amplifies, things like self-awareness, courage, and learning. And that's not exclusive. Of course, there's more, but those 3 things feel really like they always come to the forefront for me when I'm traveling. So when you're removed from the people who know your history, they know your habits, they know your routines, they know how you show up, you suddenly have this freedom to observe yourself without your usual filters. You can ask yourself, who am I when I don't have to be right? It can be when I don't have to be the boss, when I don't have to be the daughter, when I don't have to be the parent, when I don't have to be the best friend, when I don't have to be, pick your filter, pick your label, pick how you show up. So maybe you discover that you actually have patience that you didn't know you possessed when you're navigating a confusing transportation system in a foreign city. Or maybe you realize that you thrive on spontaneous interaction and variety, or that you really, truly need 2 full hours of silence every morning. Travel can strip away your roles and those labels and those filters and allow you to meet yourself again, to reconnect with you and who you really are. It really invites you to choose yourself. So that's, maybe a way to look at amplifying your self-awareness when you travel by simply setting the intention and asking those questions. Who are you when you don't have to be fill in that blank? But then another thing it does is it amplifies courage, or it can. Definitely courage pops up, right? Like you might require some courage when you travel because it's so much unknown. But courage isn't just about facing danger. It's like facing the unknown, facing those things that are unfamiliar to you. Every time you try a dish you can't pronounce or negotiate a price in a second language, even if that second language doesn't involve words, maybe it's a calculator and a smile and a lot of pointing and giggling. Or maybe you just simply venture out alone into a new city. You're performing, every time you do those things, you're performing like a small, maybe it's not even small, definitely a powerful act of courage. And then those moments build up upon each other. And they can teach your mind, your body, your spirit that you can do this, you can handle this, you can adapt, you can be resourceful, you can learn. And that new sense of capability doesn't just stay behind when you get home. You can integrate it. It integrates into your soul because you're choosing it over and over and over again on your traveling journeys, right? It gives you this quiet, formidable confidence to tackle challenges at home too. When you set that intention, it threads it in a new and different way. So another one of my favorite parts is the invitation to learn. And it seems obvious, I suppose, on some level, but I'm talking about more than just learning about the history or the geography or how things might be different. Intentional learning through travel can mean opening yourself to a new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of learning even. You can observe how other cultures prioritize time, community, or even silence, and notice the different paces of life and people. These observations can be mirrors to reflect something within you that maybe you haven't looked at in a while or ever. They can challenge your deeply held assumptions about what's normal or quote unquote the right way to do things. And this kind of empathetic learning, this deep, deep awareness can create flexibility in your worldview, flexibility in your internal view, and this can be a huge catalyst for emotional healing and growth. Gives you potential to witness not only the world, but yourself in new and different ways. So the true test of intentional travel it's not the photos you take. It's more about the seeds of awareness that you plant, the choices that you make, the self-awareness, the courage, the learning you cultivate while you're away. They're your souvenirs. They're the new tools that you can bring back home and use to tend to your soul space for your best and highest good. If the idea of intentional travel, where you amplify courage and self-awareness and deep learning, resonates with you, I just want to extend a simple invitation to think about or explore the idea of joining us in Thailand. We're planning our 2026 Live Like a Local trip. We go to Chiang Mai. We stay with friends who've become family. We connect with my Thai massage teachers. We explore in new and different ways each and every time we go. And it's specifically designed to give you real-time support in exactly what I've been talking about today. Threading in choose yourself personal development practices to really ensure that your journey is transformative and supportive and compassionate. It's not just a vacation. It's also an opportunity to learn, to heal, and to grow within a supportive and connected community. And so if you want to learn more about how to travel with us, find the link in the show notes. There's not any pressure here. It's just an invitation to explore a more intentional way to see the world and to do it together in a community, in a space where you know that there's going to be support and connection, unknown places, unknown schedule on many levels, right? We tend to go where the hosts are inspired to take us. So it's not the same trip every time. It's a different trip every time we go. It's a beautiful experience in exploration and learning and really dropping into live like a local. So the next time you plan a trip, big or small, think about more than your itinerary. Think about your intention and decide which part of your spirit you want to fuel. Which part of your spirit would you like to amplify? Which part of your being and how you show up do you want to notice and bring some self-awareness to? So before we wrap up, I just want to leave you with one simple question to ponder this week. What intention will you set for your next great journey? Whether it's across the globe or literally just across town. If you enjoy this podcast, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you're listening. It helps so much to help us reach more people. And I always forget to invite you to do that or to remind you to do that or to even ask you to do that. So this is me asking you to remember to like, subscribe, follow, and I want to hear from you. So you can feel free to send a message with any questions or tell us what you want to hear on the next podcast. Until the next episode, travel well and live intentionally. Thanks for joining me. Bye.